Let's go for our metronome training. Let's pull out the metronome. Where were we? So today we're going to do something a little bit more structured than yesterday, because yesterday we just sort of explained it all, the principles of it, but we weren't too we were not too criterious, too pragmatical about it. So now we are going to be. So this is the BPM. This is going to be the score we get on the exercise. This is going to be the accuracy. We are going to mark all three, and we are going to save this on the documents with the name. Let's just put it Excel and save it as, what's the name? Grid shot. Keep in mind, BPM is not just a cell, because this could be single shots, this could be double shots or duplets, this could be triple shots or triplets, this could be quadruple shots or quadruplets, and so on and so forth, all depending on how fast and accurate you can be on each category. Of course, this is 1 shot per beat, this is 2 shot per beat, this is 3 shot per beat, 4 shot per beat, and so on. So the more you advance in these columns over here, the harder it gets, because the faster you have to click per shot, per beat. So your shots become faster, and you have to keep up with the accuracy. So where were we yesterday? We were not on the singles, we were on the doubles. We were working on the doubles at a 125, if I'm not wrong. 125 BPM. Let's test this one. What score accuracy we get with 125 BPM. So let's go here, put this to 125. Let's turn down the volume of the music. Take grid shot. That rhythm, that's your click rhythm. Ooh, this is bad. I mean, the accuracy is good, the score's not so much, but this is probably because we were training higher at a higher speed than this, because the accuracy is pretty good. I mean, let's just put it there. So this is 77,610, accuracy 92%, and so you save it. That's it. And then you keep on doing this. So let's play again. Let me put this at 2 or 3. 78, 93. 78, 332, 322. 78, 322, 93%. This is still 125. One thing that you might want to do is to create a graph. So you come here in Insert, Graphs, you come on this little thing and you put a point distribution. So you have to make sure the series, the data that you're using, select data, your x-axis will be the BPM. So let's see, change this one. The x-axis will be equal to this over here, and just go all the way down. And the y-axis will be your score. So you call this series score. And the series 2 will be your accuracy. So you call it accuracy. And you do the same thing. The x-axis, the independent variable, will be this, again, the BPM. The dependent axis, your ordinates, will be your accuracy. So this over here. And so you made yourself a neat, come on, update whenever you want. Not like we are on anyone's time over here. Okay, thank you. Okay. Save. So now what are we seeing here? Why is this clumped up together? Because these are much farther apart than with respect to these. You know, there is a huge difference between score and accuracy numbers that you might even want to separate into two graphs instead of just one, because if not, you might not be able to see actually the differences here on the point distribution between different tasks if you're playing on pretty much you know, smaller variances on BPM. So it's not all a bad idea to come here and even redo this. Let's go select data. The accuracy one we are not going to include. Come on, you can do it. It's not too much to ask. Oh man, my CPU is going crazy. Okay, see, it adjusts, it readjusts. So this is the second one, this is the first one. A 1,000, 2,000 point difference. No, 1,000 point difference basically. So yeah, if we keep on scoring high, let's also create the second graph. I just did Control C, Control V. Where's the second graph? Didn't really do what I wanted. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll have to insert a new graph from scratch. So insert graph. And this one will be the BPM against... Oh, I have to redefine. Okay, so this will be accuracy, where X is still BPM and Y is still accuracy. Keep in mind, you shouldn't mix graphs from doubles with graphs from triples, from quadruples, and so on. So keep each graph separate, because singles are bound to have a lower score, a much lower score than doubles, and then triples, and then quadruples, and so forth. You know, because if you're dividing a figure by 2 or by 3 or by 4, you're increasing that much more the times you're hitting the targets. and so you're bound to end up increasing the score. Given that accuracy is respected, the threshold, the minimum 90% threshold from accuracy is respected. So that's what we want to see. This is score, this is accuracy, okay? 92, 93, this is all above 90, which is our cut. We also would want to, you know, change this, what do you call this, vertical scale here, to show it the minimum at a minimum of 88, call it. Let's call it 88. Just so we can see the 90 threshold here, and we can see when we go under the 90 threshold. If we're going under 88, that's it will be registered, but it won't show on the graph. And that's, you know, that's something you want to adjust. If you by any chance hit 85% accuracy, you'd go and then readjust this minimum here, just so you can see where you hit, and just so you can, you know, measure yourself against that data as well, because you don't want to, you know, you don't want to miss on that data. Anyway, let's go again. Ta 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 ta. Not too good. Not too good. 75, 60. 75, 60, and 90. 90. Okay. And here, 125 again. We should reduce the amount of data that we took. Yeah, let's do that because we took too much data. Let's do 1,000 rows, or perhaps 100 rows. Change. Let's do 1,000. 1,000. This one, let's just remove. Here, let's change again. Put 1,000. 1,000. Okay, so we have 1,000 rows. If we need more, we can always change, just so it doesn't consume too much memory. So you see this dip? I mean, this can happen. You just keep on pushing. You are at the edge of your threshold, so you keep on pushing. You keep going, and if you feel like that was not a good one, but you could do better. If you feel like you could do better, you can even increase BPM. You don't have to be stuck at one given BPM, you know. You can and you should test things. 88. See? 72, 51. 72, 51 within 88 accuracy at 125. So I'm basically going out of the graph. So I should probably reduce. So let's try and reduce. Let's go 120. Remember, reducing this on a double is actually reducing 10 BPM because I'm hitting at this rhythm. I'm hitting 10 hits less per minute. So yeah, save this and go again, and see if this reducing it helps me improve my score. Yes, improved both score and accuracy. So 76, what was it? 76 120 by what? 94. This is the indicator, this is the major indicator that you should go up a notch. So this was 120 BPM, right? 120 BPM. So you see, at 120 BPM, if you're hitting high scores, high what you call high accuracy, then you should probably go back up to, you know, increase again the BPM. And maybe you could do a half step. You don't have to always go 5 BPM step. You could go 2 BPM step if you feel like it. So let's go up a notch, just because 94 is pretty high. 94 was pretty high at first attempt. So let's try and increase this to 122. So now this is 122. Let's see what we get. That was bad. I felt it was bad. I missed so many shots in a row even. But this happens. You won't perform well and perfectly every time. You will sometimes just whiff it and whiff the whole run, and you sometimes just have to keep pushing. But make sure to put this on the graph. So 7439, 7439 with an 89 score, 89%. So there it is, 122. If you want to get a chronological sequence of these, you should use a counter. You should use something like this. Insert. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then you just put a counter here up to whatever number you want to go, and it doesn't really matter. And then you could even go on a 3D graph. You could at this point build a 3D graph. Let's see if you have, because you would have two independent this 3D graph, but I want a 3D point graph. Let's see. So let's choose data. This series 1 here, let's change it. So the data here would be scores. Let's go to 1,000. Well, let's go F. I don't really understand how to put the 3D in this. I wanted to put this as X, Y, and Z, so you could see what's happening, you know, in both directions. That might be a little bit more difficult than I imagined. Perhaps this. Okay, I have to select two data series. Let's try again. Okay, select data. Okay, so this you remove, remove, remove. Okay, this would be the surface, but let's select data. No, let's put this at auto. It's because I put 500 points. So let's put the points as we go along. Why don't you show? Oh, this is a bit of a pain. Well, let's never mind this. Let's keep on training. I wanted to do something, but I'm not too expert in Excel. Again. See, I mean 96 is pretty huge. Yeah, I say if you go above 95, you should already go faster. Above 95, it's not that there isn't validity to it. There is validity to going above and beyond 90%, 92%, 93%. But you only will gain so much at a fixed BPM. You have to increase speed. And so by increasing speed, your chances of reducing your accuracy or increase by the number. Increase that much more. So what is this number? 80, 368 by 96% at a 122. See? So this is pretty high. This is high both in accuracy and on score. And so you should just increase BPM. So let's do that. Let's go to 124, perhaps even 125 again. So this is actually 250 shots per minute. Keep in mind. So we're going 125. This is the eighth run. 125 again. Back to it. Let's see what we get. So don't be afraid to dip below. Don't be afraid to dip below, because you might just bounce back. You see? I dip, I bounce back. I dip, I bounce back. So don't be afraid. Let's go again. This time 125. %, 79. That's not too big. Anyway, 79074 by 94%. So this is pretty high. We could try and increase this again. Try and go, I don't know, 130. Oops, sorry, 130. Why not? Let's try it. Let's try 130. So 130. 260 shots per minute. Look at that. Still obeying our rules. This is the rule to obey. Forget about this. If you obey this, and then when you hit a high accuracy, you increase your BPM, this will increase by consequence. Because you increase the BPM, you're increasing the shots per minute. So what is it? 83, 112. 83, 112, 93%, which is pretty high. It's pretty high. If it was 94, 95, I would automatically increase again. But this is the first time in this session that we are touching 260 shots per minute. Let's keep on doing this. Just because we didn't hit 95. So let's keep on doing it. Next one. So Still 83. Oh, sorry, 93%. 81,766. 81,766. This doesn't matter. This column doesn't matter. What matters is this. You have to respect this threshold. Okay, so 93. You measure it again. 93. Move on. 11. 130. If you do, let's say if you do 393 in a row, you can bump it up a little bit more. So, I didn't save. Let's go again. That was bad. See? 90. 77 by 90. So I keep on doing this because I decreased a little bit. I wasn't consistently keeping up with, you know, a better kind of accuracy score. I didn't went too low. I managed to keep within the acceptable threshold, so it's okay. I ignore this part. I register it, but I ignore it. And I pay attention to this part a lot more. So this is a 90. This is 77,636. That's it. We keep on doing this one. We keep on going 130. Oops. Man, I need to. Oh. Can I please? Thank you. 12. If I manage to learn how to type, that would be awesome. Sorry. So this is 130. Let's go again. Look at that. 94. This is awesome. 83 basically. 82,992 by 94%. So although the dip, this still is within not only an acceptable range but a graduation range, where a graduation range would be 95 and above. If you hit 95 or above accuracy, you just increase the BPM. So let's try and do that again. So now for the first time in the stream, not in the stream, but on this session, we're going 135. 135 BPM, which is 270 shots per minute. So let's go and bump this number up and try it. Give yourself a minute to focus on the pace. Tut, 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 tut. 91. 83 by 91. See, even though this dips a little bit, this increases just because of the nature of a higher pace, you know, a faster pace. So 83. So 83,053 by 91. It's a pretty high score. 136, 135, 83. So it's right up there with the max that we hit in the session, and it could be your historical max. This could have been your historical max, your first ever, I don't know, whatever score you're aiming to beat. It could be with a kind of a lower accuracy. You have to respect the accuracy more than respect the score. The score will be a consequence of your accuracy and of the BPM that you assign to it. So we managed to stay on it within the threshold. We'll keep going on this speed. 135, 14. Let's try again. This is terrible. Still 92, better accuracy still. So you register it. 92 accuracy. Oops. 92. Delete this. And 8264. 640. 82 640. That's it. So keep doing it. If this increased, this is a good sign. Even though this decreased a little, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that this decreased a little. I just hit a little bit less shots. You know, I shot a little bit less than on the first time, than on the previous one. Keep on going here. 135, 15. Let's go. Let's do it again. See, we're keeping up with this. We increased a little bit on the 135 BPM. Let's go again. '83, '91. So 83, 187, 91. 83, 187 by 91. And keep on doing this. While we're still on the lower end of the spectrum, we keep on maintaining this one. We can try and jump. Let's try and make a crazy jump. Let's go 145. Just because we want to try. We want to see how low we can go. How much doing this could deteriorate our statistics. Let's try it. Let's just put it here. Nobody says we can't do it. You know, you can just jump into it. It's a lot more challenging. You will notice. I mean, if you try this for yourself, you'll notice it's a lot more challenging. See, this is to be expected to happen. I mean, I could have hit a high score just because of the nature of the BPM being higher, but this took a huge dip below our minimum cut. It went to 86%, and we cut it to 88. So let's adjust this to 86 because we want to see the point. So let's put this to 85. And so let's register, let's record 80,915 by 86. This is to be expected, and you can do it. You're free to do it. If you do it in moderation, it could even be beneficial because you push yourself to try and do something you're not at a speed that you're not comfortable with, just so you can pull it back to 135, and this will seem much easier than before. This is a music technique. And then when you pull back, it should feel a lot easier. Look at that. Increased. I mean, don't look at this. Even though this increased as well, this is the indicator. I increased my accuracy in the same one that I was having difficulty. This is how you make a breakthrough a plateau. If you're at a plateau, much like, I mean, of course, the obvious analogy here is with music training, because we're using metronome, we're using tempo, we're using rhythm, of course. But another analogy that is not so obvious would be the bodybuilding or weightlifting analogy. When you want to make a breakthrough, a plateau on a weight that you're trying to push, that you're trying to, you're stuck at that plateau. What do? You try and push yourself beyond that plateau. You try and push more than you know you can handle, with, of course, safety, with somebody spotting you. What is the safety? What is this people spotting you? Is your deterioration of your accuracy of your form, the deterioration of your form during the exercise. And then you try and do that so that when you pull back to a weight that you were on the plateau, it feels more comfortable to you. It feels easier. And this is the proof. The proof is that now this is a 93% with an 86K score, 86,355. So you kind of make a breakthrough. Did I put anything wrong here? Because I don't see what happened here. Actually, what happened here? I don't want to see below. I don't want to see below 70. Let's put this at 90 for the time being. Okay. And I don't want to see below. I don't want to see the entire. Let's put this at 120. No, 115. Okay. Also here. 115. Okay. This is a better collection of our distribution. Sure, this distribution here is not chronological, and not in any chronological order. We don't see the order of the points, but we could if we wanted to. If we wanted to see the chronological order of the points, we wouldn't. I mean, let's make this graph here. This will be data. It will be the X will be the counter. Let's put it to 1,000, and the Y will be our score. So this is our score. Let's add, this is score graph chronologically, and this would be accuracy graph, which again is from here to 1,000, and Y will be accuracy. Let's put 1,000 again. Yeah, the problem that we have is that accuracy seems flat, because it's 90s compared to thousands. So yeah, you should probably separate the graphs. So yeah, let's do that. Let's put another one. Didn't you? This will be accuracy chronologically. So data, it will be accuracy up to 1,000. We had to also name it accuracy, and just give them colors too. I mean, you could say that this is not blue, but is this line over here is red. The point data here is not blue. Come on, point. Can I choose it, please? Red? Nope. I have to figure out how to change the point color. Doesn't matter. You get the point. I mean, this is your cut, minimum cut, 90. This is your threshold to go above, but even of 10 BPM. So if you go above 95, you can go 10 BPM increase. Let's say these are arbitrary numbers that I'm making for myself, but it helps give to you a criteria to to follow your practice, to follow your measurements. Let's go another one. 18. We were at 93%, so we keep on doing this. So 135, this same rhythm, which is our fastest rhythm so far. This doesn't count because this dip too low. This dip over here too low. So this was a no-no. Okay? I mean, again, we did this to try and see if we could break through this plateau over here. And we managed to break it, even though by only 1% point. So we keep on going here. Let's see what happens. Ta, 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 ta. $89, this is too low. 79, 262. 262 by 89. So this is quite low. Why didn't this register it? Oh, I have to adjust. Okay. Keep on doing it. 19, 135. Let's see. Look at that. I graduated and beat my own record. This is a consequence. This is consequence of keeping an eye on this. So we go here, 95, and you put 88,532. New record. And if you want, yay, new record. Let's put a green color here, new record. So just for for you to celebrate something. And now 140. Let's graduate it. I mean, we graduated, so let's put it up. 140. You notice that as you move forward, it will become harder and harder to make a constant step. It will become harder and harder to make a 10 BPM step or a 5 BPM step. There will come a time where you increase 1 BPM, and that's already hard. That is when you're trying, the best of your ability to push your limit, and you're trying, struggling, and your mouse can't move, and your hand cannot move in time, and you try 1 BPM step, and that is when if you're on 1 BPM step, that's when you should consider doing a triple, a quadruple, a quintuple, 5 shots per beat, so that you can have more BPMs to spare, so to speak. And still, it might be difficult because you might be already at the limit of your of your ability, at the edge, the very edge of your ability. So 140 now, right? Yeah. Oh man, that was terrible. Wait, I'm not going to go on that one because this is going too bad. I don't like it. I want to restart. I'm allowed to do that. I mean, this is not even this is not even counting. We're on practice mode even. This is not going to the scoreboard, and you're allowed, if you feel like this is too bad for you, you're allowed to take a break. You're allowed not to count it. I mean, don't cheat yourself. Don't measure what you get. But if every once in a while you feel like you need a little bit of a breather, it's okay. We're not machines, you know. We are, we get tired, we get annoyed, we get irritated, fatigue settles in, and all things considered, you can sometimes take a break, not register it, and just call it a day if you want to do it. I am just going to reset it and start again. That's okay too. You don't want to do that every time that you feel like you're doing bad. If you feel like you're doing too bad 2, 3, 4 times in a row, it's better for you to stop it there and call it a day and come back some other time, perhaps even day after. But if you just want to reset once or a few times in a run, that's okay. Do that. You can go ahead and do that. So let's try again. Look at that. This is to be expected. 84. This is terrible. But we graduated. We hit a 95% at the 135. 140 might be too much because we just hit a 84, which is the lowest of the low we hit so far, and 76 to 91. We could keep pushing this. Let me pull back a little bit. Okay, this is 84. Let me pull back a little bit. Let's go 137. So 21, 137. Oops, not here. Here, 137. Cool. I don't want it. I don't want to do. Let's try again. Look at that. Minimum. We hit our minimum. So we go and record it. 82,429 and a 90. So a much better result on the accuracy spectrum. So we're not here anymore. We are here. Is that it? 137, yeah. So let's keep doing it. We could try and go a little bit higher again, but that would be kind of pushing it. I mean, again, you can try this technique. Let's try to push the threshold just so we can, try and break through a plateau. But wait and see that there is a plateau before you try it. Okay, so let's try again. 22, 137. See where we land. Yeah, that was bad. This can be a sign of fatigue. This can be a sign of, sign of fatigue. Why? Because we have hit good numbers in the range. So you never know when fatigue starts to settle in. When it starts to settle in, you don't feel it yet. When you feel it, when you recognize that you're too fatigued, you're already too fatigued. So 72,496 by 83. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the dips. Let's try one more time, and if this goes bad, we're going to stop it. Just stop it. You don't have to overtrain. Okay? Because overtraining is not ideal for improvement. You have to train, and when you start to feel like you're performing bad, go do something else. Stop it. That's it for your period, for your training period. We did, only these are 23 minutes of pure practice. The rest was time that you spent analyzing the data and trying to measure where would you land. You could also, add trend lines. Let's see this. You could add a trend line somewhere, but I don't remember how. I don't remember how to do that. It might not have too much meaning adding trend lines to this analysis that we're making, to this measurement that we're making. '86. So we'll call it a day. So let's put this here, 76, 675, and 86. And that's it. Let's call this a day. Let's not push it to 100, 200. Let's call this a day and try to do something else. Try to go somewhere else to practice, or to play something else, or to take a pause from playing altogether. And that's it. I mean, this is the road. This is the way that you want to be criterious about your training with something like a metronome, for example. Okay, this is how you use it. This is the scope. Of course, put your own numbers here. Put your BPM, your own BPM. If it on singles, if it on double or triple or quadruple, whatever it is, and then take measurements. This is how you push your boundaries. This is how you learn to be fast with your hand, fast with your clicks, and to measure your progress on a way that you can understand when to jump forward, when to pull back. So here I jump forward, here I pull back. So if I hit this, I increase BPM. If I hit somewhere around, for example, here even, I pull back. See? So that's what you want to do. If I start to degrade, I mean, not so much here, but again here, even though this was an increase, it was twice in a row below 90, which is unacceptable. So take a breather, stop it for a while. You could even just stop for a 15-minute break, and then you can try and come back to it, or you can stop for the day if you had already done enough. It depends on how you feel, but you do not want to keep pushing too much and deteriorate your score. You know what? Let's just reach 25, and then we can call this a day. Okay? So this is 24. Let's do a couple more. 137. Let's see if we can improve that a little bit more. Much better. See? So this is a good sign. It's a sign that you did actually promote. You did promote from 135 beyond that. So let's go 83, 953, and 91%. And let's go 25, and that's it for us today. I mean, for this training session at least. Let's try 137 again. Last time. 86%. Yeah, I'm already fatigued. So that's it. Let's register this. 77,668 by 86. Fatigue settled in. So let's save this and stop for now. We don't want to see this go down. Keep on going down. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be it for today's training session. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was a little bit more clear with respect to the one we did yesterday. And we will keep, I believe we will keep doing this. Give me a moment. So as I was saying, I hope this was a little bit clearer in respect to yesterday, because yesterday I kind of winged it. I just pulled up the metronome and started doing things without actually taking note of everything I was doing, and without much an explanation. I just, practiced without measuring. And the measurement is so important, because it's what gives us actually a clear picture of where we are going towards. So you don't just want to watch the last number that you hit and take that as an answer. You want to watch the last few that you hit. Call it the last 5 that you hit. Because the last 5 you hit give you an indication of where you are right now, pretty much, in the last 5 runs, which should be in the last 5 to 10 minutes. If you take 1 minute practice, 1 minute analysis, so that's 2 minutes by in between sessions. So you go on that pattern, and you will see how you improve over time. This is the history of how you improve over time, and you can see the score trending up. I mean, slightly. This is trending down on the 1 2 3 4 5, or 1 2 3 4 5, or 1 2 3 4 5 6. Last ones, it's kind of a little bit lower than with respect to this. But if you look from the start up until this point, it's pretty much trending up. Okay, so that's what you want to. These are pretty much the principles that you want to apply. There are some other things that I was not mentioning here, which are related to posture, to positioning. No, not positioning. It's not the correct term, but it would be respect to how you move. I was in the last 5 or 10 runs, I was lifting up my shoulder. I wouldn't let my arm settle down on the table and just move my wrist. I was actually moving my elbow a lot. This was a lot more elbow movement than wrist movement, just because with the intensity of the exercise, with the intensity increasing, with the BPM increasing, I had to try and make movements a little bit faster and wider than I would be able to with only my wrist. So I was lifting up my shoulder. I was using the shoulder joint to lift up my arm, and just have it slightly touching the table, just so I can get the contact feeling, but I wasn't, lying my arm on top of the table. That would be too slow. So for me, that would be it for now. And we are going to make a break, and after the break we will start playing something else. So yeah, keep tuned in, and I'll see you next time.